Hey guys, welcome back to No Kitchen Name. There's a fiber on my camera. Today is VEDA day 29. There's only 2 more days of April left, and then we'll be a fourth of the way done with 2026. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. I was looking at my my notes that I've been keeping track of my makes, which I'm very proud of, for almost 4 months now. And April is the first month that I've had to switch over and use a new page. And what's funny is, so far, according to my records, April has been my most productive month, No Kitchen Name wise. You know, I've made the most bags this month, I've made the most plushies this month, but it doesn't feel that way to me. I feel like lately, especially the last few weeks, I've been like slacking. And I think it's because the earlier part of the month I was like going crazy, you know. I don't know, but still I have a high amount of plushies this month and bags and stuff, and I like sharing the totals at the end of the month, which is in a couple days, which is crazy. Tomorrow is the last day of VEDA, but then, like I said, Friday starts Crochet, which is a thing I started last year when I was supposed to be getting a hysterectomy. Had it scheduled, was getting ready to go for it, and then Devin had to unexpectedly change jobs, and so we lost insurance. And we were without insurance for 4 or 5 months. Maybe even longer than that, I don't even remember. So, you know, he's at his new job now. He's been there for over a year. And, has it been over a year? Yeah, it's been around a year. So, we have insurance now and stuff, but I would have to go back and redo all the invasive testing I had to do, and I'm just not prepared to do it right now. The problems I've been having since I was like 12 years old, so I'll be alright. I'm telling myself I'll be alright. And I'm also very paranoid about getting surgeries. I always feel like I'm gonna be that one person who just doesn't wake up, you know? So I avoid them at all costs, unless it's like life or death. Anyways, that was a side tangent or whatever. I'm sitting here this morning. It's pretty early. I don't know if you can ever tell. Everybody's still asleep. I was sitting here going through looking at my little notebook, and I had to flip over to add the 2 most recent makes on there, which is cool. And after my market the other day, I went through all my inventory and I rewrote it out because it has been getting sloppy from where I've been, you know, selling things and working them out and stuff. So I was trying to like clean all that up. I got that all together. I got a really cute make to share with you guys tomorrow, actually, too, in a special video for tomorrow's VEDA. So check that out. And I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna do some stuff on the computer, I think, for a little while before the kids wake up. The only issue is my chair is gone. I forgot that Jesse came and got it last night to take in his room. And so now I'm going to have to use Devin's, what are those called? I don't even know. Fishing chair. He also takes it to the markets to sit in. I'm going to have to use his, because mine is behind a shelf in the living room. I don't want to go get it out. So we'll see how that works, because it sets back weird, you know. But anyways, today is the second to the last day of VEDA. I don't have any plans today outside the house. Do I? What is today? Today's Wednesday. I gotta finalize my grocery shopping because I'll be putting in my orders either tomorrow or Friday. Tonight for dinner, I'm making barbecue pork chops with sides. Let me know what you're making for dinner. I used to ask that all the time just to get ideas, and then I keep forgetting. So I'm gonna try to get back into that. Let me know what you're making for dinner tonight, or supper, or tea, whatever you call it. I know growing up, my granny called dinner was lunch. Supper was the meal you ate at the end of the day. But my mom always called lunch, and the end of the meal day dinner. But I always remember my granny would always call it dinner, because she would say, like, the boys are coming home for dinner, referring to my dad and my uncle, because they worked at a factory behind her house. So they would always come home every day to eat dinner, and I was at my granny's 98% of my childhood. I was at my granny's house. I lived there more than I lived at home. But anyways, that was another side note. Today I have no idea what I'm going to crochet. I have a list somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. It's over here somewhere underneath all my stuff. Of things I should make. But I've been so burnt out filling on the patterns I've been making. I feel like I just keep making the same thing over and over again. So I think today I might make 1 or 2 more of these little guys. I might make the cat and the bear. And I want to try to make one of those new cats that I bought from Stacy Makes. I want to make one of those. Maybe I'll sit down and make one of those here in just a little bit. We'll see. Anyways, come along today and see what I do make. and hopefully I record some stuff, and hopefully I edit it and get it out earlier today than tonight. Guys, I wanted to check back in real quick. What did I do to my... Oh, I accidentally took a screenshot. Hold on a second. I just got done recording a video for tomorrow. This shirt kind of gives you a hint. Ooh, the light is so bright. Turn it off. Okay. I just want to come in here and check in again. Devin just went with the kids to pick up a grocery order that I put in, specifically to get them out of the house so that I could record that video for tomorrow. But now it's recorded. I have to sit down and edit it in a little bit. So now I got to move the stuff around back to the way it goes. I did do a little bit of crocheting today. I did show a little bit of that. I made the bear. I still have to make its ears and do like the facial features. And I did start on the little bed, but as soon as I was outside crocheting, June ended up wanting to watercolor. So I had to get all that stuff down, and you know, it's just a hassle to sit there and crochet. I just watched a grackle go by the window. And deal with a kid with paint. Even watercolor can be messy. Temporarily messy. But yeah, I just want to hop on here real quick and do another talking part, because I have a bad habit of not doing that in videos lately. In these vloggy videos. But I recorded that video for tomorrow, and it's going to be also the last day of VEDA. So yeah, but then I'll be starting Crochet Friday. So I gotta move these totes back over here. I use them as a table when I'm recording, and I gotta go clean the kitchen because I cooked dinner earlier and we all ate, and now the kitchen needs to be cleaned. And what's funny is I cleaned during cooking, but there's still dishes left over. There's always like random ones getting here and there, but oh well. If I do anything else today, I'll pop it in. I just got done cleaning up from recording that video for tomorrow. And I thought I'd come in here and sit, because Devin and the kids will be home here in just a little bit. So I wanted to come here and sit for a little bit. Here is a better look at that bear. He does have his little tail back there. It's kind of hard to see. There you go. So I made him in the darker brown. I don't remember what it's called. I don't have the ball pen. Premier Basic Chanel Brights, the dark brown. I do need to do his ears and his facial features and close up his head. And I just barely got started on the bed. And then we came inside. But yeah, so I just sat in there and I was eating some marshmallows. I was craving something sweet, so I got a handful of marshmallows. I was eating them after I cleaned up the kitchen. So I'm going to sit here, I think, and work on that little bed, and I'm going to pull up some videos to watch on my computer here. And I just wanted to say, I like watching documentaries, and I've been watching a lot lately on Netflix because they don't have ads, and sometimes I just want to watch stuff without being interrupted. And the one that I started watching last night and into today, because it was like 3 or 4 episodes long, was about Hulk Hogan. Which I know he has like some controversy on his like political stuff and personal life stuff, but I didn't know anything about any of that because I don't pay attention to stuff like that in real life. I like to stay as oblivious as I can about some things. But you know, I was never a fan of Terry. I didn't know who Terry Barella, or however you say his name. I didn't know anything about that man. I knew Hulk Hogan, you know. And it was really nostalgic watching it. And, you know, a lot of his fame came before I was even born, because he got, like, started in the 80s, you know. I was born in 1990. But I do remember watching him a lot growing up. I guess my dad, I can't remember the specifics, you know. It's been a while. I guess my dad used to watch it on TV, and we would watch with him, and we had toys and stuff. Well, mostly my brother had, like, wrestler toys and stuff. And of course, everybody loved Hulk Hogan at the time. And, like, Randy Savage, I think. And I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Off the top of my head, I can't think of all the ones that we used to watch. But it was just so cool and, like, nostalgic to see all that stuff happening. Because I remembered bits and pieces of that time period. But, you know, I was a little kid when a lot of it was going on. And I do remember when the Hulk went bad, and he was, like, one of the bad guys, you know. And then he became good again. I remember that. And I do remember my great-grandpa. I actually got to meet him. It was my dad's grandpa, right? So that's my great-grandpa, yeah. On my dad's side, obviously, because it's my dad's. We got to meet him a few times before he died. I was like, I think I was 16 when he died. I think he died in 2006, the same year my grandma died. But he lived He lived in East Tennessee, out in the middle of nowhere, like in the boonies, East Tennessee, Appalachia. You don't think of that. He lived in a little wooden like house that he built himself. He was a potato farmer, and he still had an outhouse. The only place in his whole house that had water like run to it was their kitchen sink. The rest of it was an outhouse. And I remember as a kid, I got to use the outhouse. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But and he loved wrestling like that. I remember the few times I was with my granny when we went to visit him. He would be watching it, and he thought it was real. You know, he was one of those people that was convinced that it was real that they were doing. And even as a kid, I knew it was, you know, rigged. It was fake, you know. But I have memories of that too, which is cool, you know, to think that I have memories of my great grandpa. He was in his 80s or 90s when he passed away. So, but yeah. Anyways, it was just real nostalgic. I was seeing the home videos of him at home with his wife and kids. It was cool, I thought, you know, because you see his persona on TV back then. And then you just see that he was just a regular dad and husband, you know, and it was cool. And it was cool all the way up to a certain point, and then things started changing, but a lot of that had to do with drug addiction and stuff, so don't do drugs. But it was really fun watching it. I love watching documentaries and biopics and things like that. I've been like that ever since I was a kid. I used to check out VHS documentaries from our local library when I was like 10. And I just like learning a little bit about everything. I forget the saying, but it's like, I don't know everything about one thing, but I know a little bit about everything. I like being like that. I watch documentaries on the whole spectrum of documentaries from every subject you can possibly think of. For a while, I did get weirdly obsessed with World War II, like older men do. And of course the Titanic. Like a lot of people just get obsessed with some things. And for a long time, so I know a lot about World War II and a lot about the Titanic. And of course nature documentaries and things like that. But I do like watching them about different celebrities. And I was blessed with an open mind. So I don't judge people immediately by like their political standpoints or their religion or their sexual orientation, stuff like that. I like to learn things about everything, and I give everybody a chance, you know. My thing is you're either a good person or a bad person, and you only figure that out by talking to people. You know, you're never going to know if someone's a bad person just because they voted a different way than you, or because they go to a different type of church than you, or whatever. The only way you're ever going to know that is by actually hanging out with them and talking to them and seeing their actual, you know, thoughts. But so I'm glad that I was blessed with that kind of mindset, and hopefully passing it down to my kids. And Devin is very much the same. So anyways, it was just a nice documentary. There was obviously some sad, bad parts, you know. But, and it was so sad when he died. I was crying. I am also PMSing. But while I was watching it, I was just crying. And, you know, to see all these, like, big, strong, tough guys upset about it, it was just sad. But, yeah, I know that yellow and red clothes will always be nostalgic to me. And I remember being a kid, just walking around town and stuff, seeing people that looked like him, because it's like, you know, they wanted to be like him, so they had the hair and the handlebar mustache. I remember seeing that, and I remember as a kid, you know, like when I was like 8, 9, 10, graphic tees that like young boys were wearing were all wrestle related ones. And it was just super nostalgic to watch that. It was a lot of fun. Anyways, it's free on Netflix. Well, it's not free, I guess, if you if you pay for Netflix. It's on Netflix. I forget what it's called, but it has something, you know, it's just Hulk Hogan, so you'll see it, you know, if you type that in. But I've been watching a lot of the Untold documentaries. I don't know what brand they are, like what show makes them, but I watched one the other day about Lamar Odom. Was that his name? I watched his documentary. I watched the one about Steve McNair, because I remember I was a kid also when that happened, when he got shot. And he was in the Titans, the Tennessee Titans. So I do remember when all that happened too. So it was cool to go back and like rewatch that. But anyways, I've been watching those documentaries on Netflix. So if you have any like suggestions on documentaries about anything, because I like to learn, you know, I like to watch them about anything, let me know what some of your favorite ones are, and I'll go check them out. But just know that I've seen every single one in the world that has to do with World War II or Titanic. I don't know why people get so obsessed with World War II. They should do a study about that, because it seems to happen to a lot of people. But, you know, people get hyper fixated on things, and it's just interesting to see what people love and get obsessed with. But anyways, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to pull up some YouTube videos to watch, and I'm going to work on this little bear bed. I was going to say dog bed. I'm making the bed out of this dark purple. I'm gonna make the pillow and the blanket out of this periwinkle, which I always think periwinkle is purple, but when I ordered this yarn I thought it was purple, but it looks more like a blue to me. But I think it still matches enough. And then I do want to make the cat, that way I at least have one of each on hand. But that market that's coming up, it just keeps getting more and more popular on Facebook, so I feel like I maybe need to make more. But at the same time, I don't want to get crazy and end up with like 10 of these little guys that I can't sell. And I still need to make some other things. I kind of lost my chromo lately for making things. I feel like I just keep making the same things over and over again. So I gotta find something that's gonna get me out of my slump. I did work on 2 things recently that helped with that, and one was this little fairy I made for my sister, and the other one is below you. I can't share it with you right now because it's gonna be in the video tomorrow. You'll see it tomorrow. But they're both worsted weights. Worsted weight. Oh, so it's like going back to my roots, you know. When I first learned to crochet, I was a worsted weight crocheter, actually all the way up until 2024. Was that when I slowly started switching over? I think so. 2023 or 2024 is when I started making the switch from worsted weight exclusively to like 5s and 6s. And I've just been sticking with plush yarn. And who knows, in a few years I might go back to exclusively worsted weight. It depends, I guess. We shall see. But anyways, I've been blabbing a lot today because I have the opportunity to. I could talk all day long if you let me. I'm from the South, and that's just how we are. We just talk a lot. But yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog here. I might put in some more clips of me like crocheting and stuff, but the talking part is over here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for VEDA day 30, the very last day. Did I say today was 28? Because I think today's 29th. It's Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow's the 30th because Friday's the 1st. Whatever. It doesn't matter. So I will see you guys tomorrow for the last day of VEDA 2026.